The new channel. See the new. The new channel. See the new. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel, your daily source of live stream inspiration. My name is Carmine Ortega, and this is U-Turn. Good Monday morning, U-Turners! Kamusta kayong lahat? It's the start of a new week. I hope you guys are feeling great and are looking forward to the rest of the week. Ako, nagtrabaho ng mabuti nitong Sabado at Linggo. No, I didn't really rest. I took care of another business, and that was my weekend. So I hope you had more rest than I did. But just the same, I have good energy today at lalong kailangan kasi yung guest natin high energy. Sporty, in fact, kasi sporty siya. Pero kaya nga ako nakaganito kasi pag mas sporty yung guest natin, mas sporty rin ang itsura ko. I try to do that. Okay, so I'd like to greet my cousin, Ronnie Rosales from Calbayog City, Samar. Happy birthday. Salamat sa iyong blowout. Blowout. That's so tita, no? The term blowout is so tita. Sa aming lechon na papadala mo. Baliktad dito sa Pilipinas, no? Kung sino pa yung may birthday, siya pa yung gumagastos. Versus sa ibang bansa, kung sino yung may birthday, siya pa yung nililibre. Nagtutulong-tulong ang mga kaibigan para matreat yung may birthday. Pero dito sa atin, baliktad. So once again, happy birthday to my cousin, Ronnie. Salamat. And I hope you have many more blessings. Okay, so I would like to greet also Mr. Ed Mapa on behalf of Miss Apple, our Miss A here. He is a good mentor. Happy birthday to you also. Ay, ang daming may birthday, no? Okay. So, I would like to make an announcement. This person is receiving our gift set from last week. Okay, our quote was, "Your whole life is a manifestation of the thoughts that go in your head." And it's a quote by Lisa Nichols. And this is the interpretation. All things that happen in a person's life begin with their thoughts. It depends on your thoughts of belief on how you see situations and how you feel towards them. You will achieve what you want as long as you are. Okay. All right. So the recipient of our gift is Shikaina. I hope I'm saying your name right. Shikaina Silagan of Taguig City. So congratulations. You're getting the set of little mason jars, and you can use that at home for your spices or herbs, things like that. Okay. So ngayon, I would like to share our quote. Okay. And this is by Charlie Chaplin. O, diba? Kilala niyo si Charlie Chaplin? Nakilala niyo si Charlie Chaplin because he's a historic figure, especially in entertainment. Okay? The quote is, "Imagination means nothing without doing." Once again, imagination means nothing without doing. And it's by Charlie Chaplin. He was an American entertainer, especially comic, back when there were no there was no audio in films, 'di ba? Black and white, tapos choppy pa yung ano, yung images. So that's Charlie Chaplin. So what you need to do na muna, before what you need to do, this is what you could get if you join our little activity here. Okay, so this is a hair straightener for men. Okay, yan. Hair straightener for men. Plancha for men. Okay? Maraming lalaking kulot na alam ko gusto matuwid nila yung buhok nila. So you can receive that as a gift from us. But you need to share our live stream on your wall and leave an interpretation in the comment section of the quote that I just gave. Okay, so please do that. Share our live stream and leave your interpretation in the comment section. Okay, imagination means nothing without doing. And please use our hashtags. Okay, yan. U-turn on TNC. That's one of our hashtags. And the other one is TNC Now. Tama ba, direct? Yan. Like our Facebook page, TNC Now. Tag us also. Okay, so I hope you look forward to the show. At tawagin na natin ang ating guest. Siya ay, well, he survived cancer. He's a multi-sport athlete. He's a finisher in the North Pole Marathon. And he's not just that, no? Marami pa siyang ginagawa sa buhay niya. Marami pa siyang activities. And he will tell us all about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to have here as guest Mr. Louie Sangalang.
Hi, good morning, Carmine, and good morning to all our viewers. Glad to be here.
Ayan. Good morning. Fresh na fresh itsura ni Louie. Oh. Tapos, bagay na bagay pa yung kanyang background kasi athlete nga and he will tell us all about that. Okay. So, Louie, thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
Yes, of course, anytime. I rested well this over the weekend kasi I was kind of feeling under the weather. Medyo may change ng weather. Although hindi naman ako asthmatic, but twice a year, ina-expect na namin because usually in a year, I participate in races for my triathlon team. So kahit na walang karera, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po yung ensayo natin.
All right. And by the way, I'd like to greet our dear friend, common friend namin ni Louie. And in fact, that's how we got connected. It's through Ariel Fabella. So, Ariel,
Hey,
hi. Thank you for the introduction. All right. Okay. So, Louie, marami tayong pag-uusapan. No? And one of them is how, of course, you usually start with the beginning. And I think a lot was rooted from when you found out you were ill. You had cancer. Diba? How old were you then?
I was 20 years old in college when I found out that I had cancer. Very interestingly, I've had several, let's say, na medyo malalang sakit ever since I was in high school. Probably because of the lifestyle then, no? I've had bronchopneumonia, I've had hepatitis A, and yun nga, yung hepad, sinasabi ng doktor before kasi mahilig akong kumain ng mga isaw-isaw. So ngayon, iiwasan ko na talaga yung mga yan. But in relation to cancer, yeah, I was around 20, 21 years old. It was my last year in college. And in college, nagkaroon ako ng bisyo. Nagkaroon ako ng bisyo na mahilig ako uminom. In fact, I was drinking very heavily na alas 7 pa lang ng umaga, lasing na ako. I would be drunk the whole day. Would come to class actually intoxicated. And I really don't know how I was able to finish my course or my degree. Pero yeah, nagawa naman namin. I think yung last year nalaman ko na may sakit ako, nagbago talaga yung mindset. Because you start thinking about your mortality. Nandito ka pa ba bukas or the following year? And that has really helped a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you found out that you were sick, no, what were your initial thoughts? Ano ang sabi ng doktor? What was your outlook?
We didn't really expect it, no. I remember kasi I was drinking Holy Week. Very early in the morning, I was again drunk. I was close to being alcoholic, or I think I was an alcoholic. People around me that time, they were telling me that I was. Tapos, so, I think it was 4 in the morning. Sabi ko sa brother ko, teka lang, sakit ng tiyan ko. Tapos, sabi niya, sige, let's go to the hospital. So, we both went to, I think, 2 or 3 hospitals until the third hospital took us in kasi wala kaming cash that time eh. And I think my parents were somewhere. So, dalawa lang kami ng brother ko. And appendicitis siya. So, una, appendicitis. And I was surprised 2 weeks or 3 weeks after my appendectomy, bumalik kami kasama ko yung parents ko. And it's funny kasi we were in the elevator of the hospital and I was telling them na, you know what, if I die tomorrow, I'm gonna be fine kasi medyo okay na. I have a newborn daughter. Then that time, I had a good relationship naman. So, it was surprising that when we went to the doctor, yung sinabi ng doctor, the reason for my appendicitis was that inflamed yung appendix ko kasi kinakain ng cancer cells yung lining ng appendix. And it was pretty rare, no? Pretty rare type of cancer. It's the one that Aubrey Hepburn died of. I don't know kung nabutan niyo pa yung artista na yun. And yeah, so it's very rare, but it's considered colon cancer. The first reaction was disbelief. Kasi you're never ready to hear these things. Parang, oy, may cancer ka. How come? I'm only 20 years old. I'm young, right? Yeah. And na-realize ko may history kami. My grandmother, the mom of my dad, died of colon cancer. Tapos sa family nila, there were several people who also died of different types of cancer. So it was kind of expected na rin, and na-aggravate siguro siya ng pag-iinom ko. That wasn't a lifestyle that I would advocate at all. So disbelief, then naging naging fear kasi I had a newborn then eh. I mean, I was an unprepared father at the age of 20, 21. My daughter was just she was born in January. I found out about cancer in April. Tapos the doctor said we immediately have to have a surgery done. So hemicolectomy naman, where they have to remove like a foot of my large intestines. No? So part siya nung procedure para maiwasan yung pagkalat ng cancer. So I did. On my birthday in May, I told them, you know, let's do it. And my parents initially didn't want it kasi sabi nila na baka pwede postpone after your birthday. Sabi ko, no, do it on my birthday kasi wala na tayong oras eh. So, yun. Ganun po yung nangyari during that time.
But how were you during that time? Were you strong-spirited? Were you depressed? Were you feeling sorry for yourself?
I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. Nung bata-bata kasi ako, medyo marami akong angst. And I think that's the reason why I started drinking. Marami akong issues with my family then. Galit ako sa mundo. You know, parang you feel or you felt like you're the victim of circumstance. So knowing myself, medyo palaban talaga ako. And na-complicate yun kasi may anak ako eh. So sabi ko, you know, I have to survive this. On the way back home from the hospital, I told my mom, kasi tinanong niya ako, same question, how are you feeling? So sabi ko sa kanya, you know what? I'm just gonna cry for one day. Sabi ko sa kanya. So I did cry for just one day. And pagdating ko sa bahay, I was immediately on the internet looking for treatments, looking for all the information I could find about appendiceal cancer. And the time na yun, medyo dial-up pa, kaya medyo mabagal. But I remember spending the whole night just researching on what I could find about the disease. Yeah. So after nun, it was an uphill battle talaga kasi I had my hemicolectomy done, and about 3 months after, nag-weights na ako. I mean, hindi talaga ako masyadong, let's just say, I wasn't obedient to my oncologist. So I was really trying to stress my body and repair my body, so to speak. Kasi nagballoon ako to 180 pounds. Eh. I'm only like 5'6". So I was obese. I was really obese. So I had to cut down weight. And in my journey, sabi ko na if I had to be really fit, I had to test myself. So that time, merong mixed martial arts tournament dito sa Pilipinas. For the first time they've done it, the RCC before one championship came on board. And sabi ko, you know what, I'm gonna compete in this competition. And a year and a half later, I was there. I was already competing. So that became a benchmark. I
Okay.
had to challenge myself.
You said hindi ka masyado sumusunod sa doktor mo, sa oncologist mo. Bawal ba mag-exercise? Sinabi ba niya yon?
Uh, Hindi ako sumunod in the way na, a friend of mine framed it this way. A doctor should tell you what you can do, not what you cannot do. So, nung time na yon, bagong opera ka kasi. So, kung bagong opera ka, you cannot exert a lot of effort. Otherwise,
Right.
pwedeng bumukas or humina yung stitches ng
Mhm.
opera mo. Hindi niya sinabing bawal kang magbuhat. Ang sinabi lang niya, just don't carry heavy weights.
Or exert.
Kasi,
Oh.
yeah, kasi yun nga, may tension eh. Your body parang exerts a lot of effort. And yun nga, yung muscles mo, baka mapunit ulit yung
Right.
sugat. So basically,
Right.
that was it. But everything else, sinunod ko. Like yung chemo, yung radiotherapy, eating right, avoiding alcohol or red meat and whatnot. I was
Okay.
vegan for about 2 years. So I know how it feels.
Mm. Mhm. So, that was part of your own healing for yourself, no?
Yes.
You lost weight intentionally, you went into exercise, and itong exercising na to ang nag-trigger talaga yung illness mo. That's part of the research that you did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you have.
Yeah, I was already athletic when I was a kid. I've been indulging myself in different sports except basketball kasi ang tangkad ko nga. Pero yeah, I was already an athlete when I was still young. Kaso yun nga nung college, medyo pinabayaan ko yun, parang inom lang ako ng inom, I was naghahanap ako ng gulo sa labas, just to get it out of my system. Medyo bad boy yung dating. I mean,
Mhm.
I want to be honest about it. Yeah, I was a menace to society that time.
Mhm.
So, nung nalaman ko na may sakit ako and I had to first of all recover, tinago ko yon. I didn't tell anybody I was sick. In fact,
Mhm.
nobody knew. Nobody knew na I had an operation and nadulas lang yung family ko dun sa barkada ko, high school barkada ko. They visited me. Pero hindi ko talaga sinabi yon. Even the recovery part, when I came back, people were saying that, you lost so much weight, your veins, parang sunog yung veins ko, what happened? And when they
Mhm.
noticed the veins at the time, I actually became more open about it. Kasi they were saying, baka nagda-drugs ka kasi you're shooting up heroin in your veins and whatnot.
Right.
I told them, no, I got sick. And yun yung naging trigger. So binalikan ko lang yung previous lifestyle ko of being an athlete, I guess, having a structure day to day, so that at least ma-rebuild yung habit na yun. I think it's very important that we build the habits, especially when it comes to taking care of your health.
Right. Why did you choose not to tell your friends?
I chose not to tell my friends because I'm just that kind of person wherein let's just say mahilig ako magsulo eh. Alam mo yun. I guess it runs in my family. We don't really ask for help. I learned that from my parents, to be
Reliant.
self-reliant. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yung nature na yon spilled over kasi first of all, I don't want other people to feel sorry for myself. That wasn't my objective. Eh. Yung ibang tao, and this is not, I mean, that's their support system. Yung ibang tao kasi, they want other people to console them and to help them and whatnot. Ako ayoko nun. Ayoko yung may nag-aalala. Especially during that time because, cancer is a very difficult disease, no? Not just physically, but also emotionally. Kasi hindi mo alam kung babalik siya, kung nandyan pa siya.
Mhm.
Second, financially. The treatments are not cheap. My parents were joking that time that the treatments would have been enough to buy, small house or car or whatnot. And draining din siya eh. Draining siya sa mga
Mhm.
tao, di ba? But I think most of all, I did not want people to feel sorry for myself or I didn't want them to treat me any differently. Ngayon pa lang, di ba, when you find out that there's a COVID patient, even if nakapag-recover na, there's a stigma to it. Eh.
Right.
Minsan pag may cancer, di ba, ganun din, ay, mahina na yung taong yan. I mean, maybe that was also driven by my biases that time. But I'm looking at it from also a third person point of view. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I guess that's
Right.
it. That's the main reason why.
So that was what, more than Bookingan na to ng age, ano? More than 20 years ago. Tama ba?
Yeah, yeah.
That
Tama
was more
po.
than...
I'm close to my mid 40s. Yeah, that was around 22 years ago. Long time ago, actually.
Mhm.
And I'm glad it happened earlier and not later in my life.
Because...
Because it would not have changed. I think it would not have changed the way I looked at the world. Yun nga, as a victim, as someone who just was driven by a lot of anger, because of not being able to do certain things. And I guess most of all, dahil I was taking it just really day to day. Walang planning involved. Parang, "Oh, bahala na, may bago, pasukin mo yan. May
Mhm.
interesting, sige, sundan mo yan." I've always been that kid na parang ang daming gustong gawin. My mom, who's a trained psychologist and counselor, tells me na it's because of the fact na yung multiple intelligences ng mga tao daw medyo mas pronounced lang daw sa akin. Hence the reason
Mhm.
why it appears talaga na hindi ako focused. But yeah, I guess I just had different interests. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So you're saying that, well, you said you're glad it happened early on. Mas malakas yung katawan mo, and you had that it was an open thing. Like, you could do
Yeah.
anything. You could still change a lot of things in your life at that
Yes.
point. Tama. Okay.
Yes.
Sige. So may tanong ko sa iyo. Ang tanong ko, do you think life would have been very different for you if you had not gotten sick? But you'll answer that when we come back from break.
The new channel. See the new.
We're back on U-Turn on TNC, and you just saw an ad for our new show. Ayan, let's tell the viewers more about that. Ayan, this is the fourth project with Bob Kilapio, and he is airing all the way from Dubai. Very interesting, and he's a DJ actually, pero he will talk more than just about that. Okay, so the show, the fourth project, will premiere on July 8th. That's a Wednesday, so 2 days from now, 7 p.m. Dubai time, and that is 11 p.m. in the Philippines. Yes, there's a 4-hour difference between Manila time and Dubai time. So abangan po natin yan, the fourth project with Bob Kilapio. Okay. All right. Okay. Let us greet some viewers muna. Ito, natutuwa ako dito sa greeting na to. The very first one. Hi anak, happy Monday morning. Watching from home. This is from Miss Annabelle Sangalang. Mommy ni Louie. Louie, join me naman. Ayan. Let's
Hey,
welcome
hello.
back our guest, Louie.
Hi,
Sabay
Ma.
natin basahin.
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you.
Oo, Mommy. From Susan De Jesus Ongoko. Hello from Houston, Texas. Howdy! Tama ba? Tama ba yung bate? Howdy from Texas. Jen A. Rosario, blessed Monday morning. So handsome, Sir Louie, from Mark Anthony Escalona. Sino si
Oh,
Mark?
thank you. Yeah, he's my coach. He's one of my MMA coaches. Mahusay yan. Napakahusay ng bata. Maraming gym. At very young age, maraming siyang gym. So medyo
Okay. All right. Conrad Tumpalan, striker in the house, yo.
That's a good friend of mine as well. Mahusay kumanta yan. Mga musicians, yung mga yan. As hobbies nila, medyo mga sideline nila music.
Parang show and tell ng mga kaibigan eh, no?
Oo nga po eh. Thank you for the support, guys.
Jerome De Castro has that.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
emoji.
Jerome De Castro is one of our extreme athletes, yan, no? Endurance athlete na may dystonia. So he has this condition where yung muscles ng neck niya are involuntarily twisting. So nagbe-bend siya, but he is an endurance athlete and napakahusay ng tao. He's been featured as well, GMA and all that.
May turnaround story din yan. Hi,
Oh,
Jerome.
magandang story niya ni Jerome.
My name is Carmine, Jerome. All right. Hello from a friend of mine, Chino Ahoro. Hi, Chino. How are you? You're still in Malolos? And from Leila Isagire. She's watching from Vigan City. O, diba?
Oh yeah, that's Kay's tita. So tita-in-law ko yan. Hi tita.
Hello, Tita. Okay. All right. And more power to you, Raw, from Chino also.
Okay, thank you, Chino. Interestingly, we might be related. My dad's middle name is Ahoro, and he's also from Bulacan.
Really?
Yeah, we might
Wow.
be related.
I have other friends who are Ahoro also. We can talk about that here na lang.
Sure po.
All right. Okay. So, Louie, let's play a game muna. Hindi naman extreme sport ito. It's just a game. Okay lang.
Okay lang po.
And eto na direct. This is your cue. It's called Ayun, hindi ako mabit doon ah. So the game is called Quick Turn, What's It Gonna Be? And I will just mention random things, activities, or flavors, or even people or shows, and we just want to know we just want to know how you feel about them, whether you like them, you don't like them, or you love them. So what you'll say, these are what you can say, right turn if you like them, left turn if you don't like them, U-turn if you love them.
Love. U-turn is if you love them. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Right, left, pag ayaw, then U-turn if you love. All right. Fire away.
Milk tea.
U-turn. I'm guilty.
Ito, nagmi-milk tea.
I have a sweet tooth, so I have a...
Okay. Inihaw na mais.
Right turn.
Nako, kanina ko pa to ginawa, so hindi to set up. Basketball.
Right. Right pa rin. I like team sports. Ayaw lang ng basketball sa akin, pero I like basketball.
You can play it.
I can play
When there's a chance you will. Okay. Street dance.
Interestingly, it's a U-turn. When I was younger, I really like break dancing or b-boy dancing.
Uy.
Mga panahon nila Vanilla Ice, kung naabutan niyo po yan. So, I was into that. Yeah.
Daming talent ni Louie. B-boy pa pala siya. Okay. Audiobooks.
I would say left. Kasi the experience of books kasi, you read them in a certain voice in your head. So pag audiobooks medyo let's just say off-putting lang sa akin kasi I I want to experience the book by myself, I guess.
So you prefer hard copy talaga, even like the
Uh,
pen of paper.
yes, or reading them on my phone or my iPad. So better done
Okay.
than hearing them. Yeah,
So that's the hierarchy. Yung audiobooks yung pinaka lowest.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Chocnut.
U-turn. Mahilig ako sa matamis talaga.
Surprise birthday party.
That's a left turn for me.
Ayaw mo.
I don't like surprises. I'm very very poor with surprises actually. There was one time that I was surprised by the executive secretary of the president in the office. I was the executive assistant naman, so I was charge of corporate planning and whatnot. And and I don't celebrate my birthday, so I don't do that. And she surprised me with a card, with a cake, and I didn't know how to react. I guess I said thank you, pero parang half meant yung dating eh. But
Awkward.
anyway, yeah, it was a bit awkward, pero okay lang, I guess.
Okay. Love songs.
Nako, medyo mahirap to ah. I would say, can I go straight? Kasi I'm torn eh. So, prob- pero leaning towards right turn or left turn rather. Leaning towards left turn na lang. There are
Okay.
certain love songs kasi that capture my emotion eh. Especially yung mga malulungkot na love songs. Yan, gusto
Mhm.
ko yun.
Okay.
Tragedy. I'm a fan of tragedy. Whether it's a play or it's a musical. I love these things.
All right. Princess Jasmine of Aladdin.
Wow, I have no idea. Probably
Hindi mo
left.
siya kilala. Okay.
Left. I mean, I know her. Left, but I'm not a Disney fan.
Okay.
Mas malalim kasi yung pinanggagalingan ko. I don't like the
Fairy
fact
tale.
that they stereotype
Mm.
princesses and yung mga ibang stories kasi behind Aladdin, behind Snow White. Pag binasa talaga nila yung fairy tale, iba yung ano eh, iba yung story. So it's a left turn for me.
Okay. All right. Scuba.
I've never tried it, and I'm very interested to do it. So I would say that it would be a right turn.
Okay. All right. Yay. Thank you. We just
Thank you.
completed
May
quick
price
turn.
ba yun?
May prize.
May price ba yun?
Gusto mo rin nung ano, nung pang
Hair straightener.
straightener for men.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, maganda.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, Louis, balikan natin yung question kanina, no? Would life have been very different if you had not gotten sick? And is this a recurring, thought in your head na binabalikan mo from time to time?
Um, the answer is yes. It would have been totally different. Any critical illness kasi, first of all, it humbles you. Eh. So, yung humility na binibigay sa iyo, knowing that you have limited time, is an instigator for you to do so much more. At least that's how I see it. And if your life is just driven by so many negative things, napakahirap. I think people act also out of desperation. Very recently, there's news na may COVID patient who took a doctor hostage, and I can imagine the frustration that is in that person. But as my one of my mentors um, has shared with me, frustration is the same as inspiration. Eh. It should move you to action, positive action. So I guess that's what really happened in my case. Hindi ako nagpatalo. Ayoko nagpapatalo. So being a competitive person, to me that was just a disease. And if I would go down, I would at least would go down fighting. Now, do I still revisit that moment in my life? Rarely. Uh, and this is siguro part of my character. No, I'm not the type of person who celebrates a lot of things. Eh. So for me, once a project is done, ang mindset ko is always you're only as good as your last project. So what can you do next? Because nasasayangan ako sa oras eh. And yeah, I guess that's a limitation from my end. Parang once it's done, okay, maybe you can celebrate a little, but it's not like you always replay that in your head because anong nangyayari sa ibang tao, they get stuck in the past. And that is one thing that I don't wish on people, whether it's a relationship you've lost, or riches, or things, manghihinayang ka. A lot of
Mm-mm.
people can't move on it. Nangyari yung Ondoy, for example. And a lot of people, have friends who have collections of cars and whatnot. Tapos binaha. So, ang lungkot-lungkot nila. So, ang sabi ko, there's no point. Just get rid of them and start
Right.
anew. So,
Oo.
that's one thing I always tell people.
I like what you said about frustration being just like inspiration. The difference is how you act, how you respond
Yes.
to the situation. And in your case, because of your competitive nature and move on ka lang ng move on, uh, nilabanan mo. You worked with a doctor, you went through treatments, and you also changed yourself internally. And I think you poured a lot of your energies into sport, right?
Mhm. I think we have to look at ourselves. We have to become self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And what that entails is introspection. Tinitignan mo, ano ba yung priorities ko sa buhay? Sino ba yung mga taong around me who will be affected by my actions and my decisions? And I think innately, itong mga nakapaligid sa atin and even our own ambitions are what motivates us. No? Yung motivation kasi na yun has to be, in my opinion, first of all, it has to be intrinsic. No?
Mm-hmm.
For me kasi inspiration is medyo extrinsic. But motivation is more internal. At least that's my perception. Ano ba yung mga bagay, sino-sino ba yung mga tao na nagmo-motivate sa akin? Well, yes, they're outside you. Pag ini-internalize mo, you start looking at your core and say na, okay, I have to be self-aware. I'm a brother, I'm a father, I'm a son. So these are my roles that I have to do in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And more than just being inspired or motivated, kailangan talaga na iniisip natin, we are self-aware that we have to contribute something to society.
Mm-hmm.
It's our duty. It's our civic duty. Kaya nga, this flag always reminds me of my duty to my country. This was the flag that I brought and I brought home from the North Pole. So it's always there to remind me na kung hindi man siyang pakinggan, Pilipino ako and I owe it to my country to be someone better and to always push myself.
Right.
And that's the reason why it's affected everything else in my life now. Like I'm consulting for a government agency for a project that's funded by the World Bank. I teach in university, both in public and private institutions. So ganun yung nagiging mindset na ko at least, di ba? I want to give back. I want to be of value.
Ayan. Thank you for bringing that up. Actually, yun na yung gusto kong ipakita, no? So, ladies and gentlemen, Louie is a finisher of the FWD North Pole Marathon. Ayan. So, he was the only Filipino who was part of the entire event. That's the flag that he carried. And you will see it in this short video that we will show you. Okay? Featuring the marathon. Yun, napaka-dramatic. Nakilabutan ako, lalo na nung
Oo nga eh.
umpisa.
Ikaw
So,
ang matik maluha eh.
oh,
Narinig ko.
so tama
Yeah.
lang na may tissue tayo dyan, no?
um, uh,
I have a
well,
question.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, how did you end up being part of that? That was in 2018.
Yeah, that was in 2018. So interesting question. So first of all, I'd like to just get the facts straight. I wasn't the first Filipino. In fact, the very first Filipino was Victor Consunji of
Okay.
DMCI, and he
Hmm.
became a mentor. Actually, I reached out to him, and he became a mentor. Thank you for Bubbles Paraiso for introducing us as well. So he became a mentor to the North Pole Marathon. Now, I think ang nangyari kasi dito, I was the first Filipino cancer survivor who finished it. So that's basically my achievement. Interestingly kasi, I was the EA to the CEO of another company, and when my CEO moved to another company, he actually put my name out there among the people na kino-consider nila.
Uh-huh.
And ang nangyari kasi, we were actually a selection. So there was a short list, and the way he messaged me was very interesting. So, Sirene Herman, former CEO, president, my boss, my mentor. So he messaged me out of the blue, close to Christmas, and say, "Hey, you want to do something crazy?" And then kami ng CEO ko medyo may kato kami. He's the type of CEO. He's Dutch. He's the type of CEO na naka-barong or naka-coat tapos naka-chucks papasok sa board meeting. Ako naman yung EA niya and he's tall. He's like 6'5", and I'm like 5'6". So I would be the small or the little CEO na haba ng hair, then I would join him the board. We were really an odd couple, no? So he messaged me out of the blues asking, you want to do something crazy? And I said, what is it? Sabi niya, you want to run the North Pole Marathon? I said, like, okay, without having any second thoughts, let's go. Diba? Sabi niya, but there's a selection process. So sabi ko, okay, let me go through that. So I also had to kind of present myself to the marketing team and to the PR team. And they looked at my credentials, and dun na nangyari yun, no? That time, very interestingly also, I was very actively, because at the age of 40, I uh, I left corporate and decided to strike it on my own as a consultant. So
Mhm.
I put up a sole proprietorship. During that time, I also went back to fitness, specifically mixed martial arts, and I wanted to compete. I wanted to compete in one championship, and
Mhm.
they actually responded to my request, no? And nagkasabay yung North Pole Marathon tsaka yung time na first match ko dapat. So the guys in one championship were very, very considerate naman. They said, finish that. When you come back, we'll be waiting for you. So, inuna ko yun. Tapos,
Mhm.
after ng North Pole Marathon, nagkataon naman na first full Ironman dito sa Pilipinas, the inaugural event. So, sinalihan ko yun 1 month after. Medyo kulang sa training, pero yeah, I had to prepare myself. And
Wow.
the truth is, Carmine, I've never done a marathon before the North Pole Marathon. I've done half marathons, which is 42 kilometers. So
Mhm.
half of that is what I've done, 21.
Mhm.
And I've done a lot of that in my triathlons and in the different fun runs.
Oh,
So I had to do at least one marathon before I left for the North Pole. And I did that like 2 months before I left for Norway. So ganun po nangyari.
amazing. Okay. So sa lahat ng yung mga ginawa mong ganyan, ano, you were a triathlete, you are, present tense, ano? Triathlete, MMA fighter, marathoner sa North Pole, ano pang nami-miss ko? Ironman?
Yeah.
Basta, marami yan. Sa lahat ng mga yan, ito bang North Pole Marathon sa tingin mo ang greatest sporting achievement mo?
It's okay. Interesting question. It's not my greatest sporting achievement because I was not able to hit my target of finishing it at the time that I wanted to.
Okay.
But it is definitely probably the biggest highlight of my, let's say, athletic life or career, if I may call it that way, because ilan lang ang binibigyan ng opportunities to run in the North Pole. In
Right.
fact, the following year when FWD sent the first female representative, she wasn't able to run kasi the conditions in the North Pole are very
Extreme.
extreme tsaka ano sila eh, they're very unpredictable. Yung North Pole kasi, there's no land. So it's all frozen ice. They're called ice floes na nagbabanggaan. And yung nandoon lang sa North Pole, nobody really can claim na, the North Pole is theirs. So Norway, Russia, and several countries have laid claim or their stake there. There's a Russian military base observation post there, and it's called the Barneo Camp.
Mhm.
Tapos, if you land there, there's a Russian plane that takes you there. However, ang ginagawa nila, they plow the runway with bulldozers. Tapos,
Oo.
minsan, nagka-crack yung ice na yun, no? So, nung nangyari nung following year, the
Mhm.
conditions were just extreme na hindi pwedeng mag-land and the ice was cracking everywhere else. Tapos yung pang-issue on climate change. So the North Pole Marathon may not be there in the next how many years because nga of the changing
Mm.
conditions. So definitely talagang matindi yung experience na yun. Aside from the physical conditions. Second, it's very, very expensive to participate and fly to the North Pole. Flying to Norway will take you anywhere from 100 to 200,000. Tapos from Norway, you have to take a plane pa, flight to Svalbard, which is the last or the pinaka northernmost part of Norway, before you
Mhm.
take a helicopter to the North Pole, which the helicopters you saw dun sa video, no? So, sorry, plane, then helicopter to the geographic North Pole. Yung cost of flying from Svalbard to the North Pole is, I think, north of 500,000 pesos.
Wow.
So, ganun siya it's very expensive. Very, very expensive.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. No, it's not every day that we get to talk to someone who was in the North Pole Marathon. So will is my next question is, what do you busy yourself with now? And we'll get back to that when we come from break. Ayan, I'm back. We're back on U-Turn on the new channel. Okay, so we have another announcement. It's about one of the newer shows here on the new channel. Direct, asa na yung ating announcement? Ayan. Okay, so we currently have these shows. Of course, you know the big picture. It's been on for 3, 4 seasons na. HR Hotline with Jesse Robustillo. Sorry, by the way, that's the big picture with Lloyd Luna. We also have HR Hotline with Jesse Robustillo. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 noon. iBusiness with Dr. Mike and Bert airing from Texas and Tennessee. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 Central, PM Central. And then the fourth project with Bob Kilapio, it's going to premiere on Wednesday. They will show Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Dubai time. So that's 11 p.m. Manila time. Of course, you know about U-Turn. It's Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 in the morning with yours truly. They also have the Home Buyer with Dante Salamat Mondays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Bagong Bago, The Puppet Stories with Juan Lu, Tuesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. And a TNC original, TNC Marketplace, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. Ayan. Okay, lumalaki kami ng lumalaki. And so far, no, between The Big Picture with Lloyd Luna, which airs every day, Mondays to Fridays at 7 p.m., between The Big Picture and U-Turn, we have had many, many guests, and you're seeing just some of them in this photo. So thank you for the entrepreneurs and businessmen and personalities, celebrities, athletes who have joined us. We hope to inspire the viewers, to take hold of their entrepreneurship, of their lives, and we hope to inspire them through these people that we've been featuring. Ayan. So, thank you. Okay, batiin natin ang mga iba pang nagko-comment dito, no? Ariel Fabella, sabi niya, Louie, you're the man. Si Ariel po yung nagpakilala sa amin ni Louie. According
Ariel.
to Chino, small world daw kasi nga ahoro, diba? And then Ronald Arthur Davis says, Bigotilio.
So Arnold's a good friend. He's one of our fighters sa gym. Husay
Fighters.
yan. Napaka-bait ng batang yan.
All right. Rhea Marie Reyes is saying, one of the best mentors I have.
So
Again.
Rhea is one of my teammates from the BPO industry. There was a point in my life that I was in the BPO industry doing talent acquisition marketing, and Rhea has come a long way. Started as a specialist, and I think she's already a manager.
Okay.
Congratulations, Rhea.
Again. Si Mark daw, scuba daw, sabi niya dun sa Ron. Maabangan mo baka yayain ka na. Solid, sir, from Daniel Hilaria. And congrats po, Sir Louie. Ang galing-galing niyo po from Jocelyn Barugo.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. I have some photos here that I'd like you to, say something about, basic stuff lang. When or who or why. Let's just do this quickly.
Oh, wow.
Well, these are Asian.
Go ahead.
These are the Asian athletes that joined the marathon.
Yes, that's partly correct. So these are representatives from FWD Asia. So hindi lang nakasama, I think dito was Thailand, but there was Vietnam, Taiwan, China, Hong Kong. The guy from Hong Kong is, I think, the fastest 21-kilometer runner ever. Then the reason why I'm saying it, they're not Asian because two of them are actually white, Caucasian. So they're representatives from Taiwan and China, but they're also with FWD, so they were selected. Interestingly, dito sa team na to, one of the guys here is completely visually impaired. So he's blind. Tapos meron siyang tali. So meron siyang cord wherein nakatether siya dun sa isang runner. And they're the guys in the middle, no? So the guy with straight hands up, that's a guy who ran the 2017 North Pole Marathon. The guy beside him na nakabini, hands up also, is the guy who is visually impaired. I mean, they finished the marathon together. So, ganon.
Wow.
Then one of the guys here also, if you notice, has a prosthetic on his leg.
Yeah, I saw that in the video.
Yeah. He had challenges actually, but so tinapos niya half marathon na lang. Oh wow, this is a good friend Kuya Brandon Vera. So Brandon Vera has a show on One Championship, and they were looking for fighters. that he could train with and share some tips. He invited me over to the show. So tingnan mo naman gaano kalaki si Kuya Brandon, right? And ang liit talaga ako dyan. I'm a hobbit compared to Brandon Vera. Very
Oh,
humble guy.
oo.
Okay, this is me coming back from Thailand, where I spent like a month and a half training because I wanted to
Mm.
get into a fight. This is one of the photos that I took. I have, of course, a nutrition sponsor. Can I mention them? Is that okay? So, Santi Barley. So, I did this photo as a promo for them. They launched a new drink during that time. Yeah.
And then,
Oh,
saan
wow.
to?
This is one of my, this is in Puerto Galera. No,
Mm.
sorry, not in Puerto Galera. This is in El Nido, rather.
I know this
Um,
place. Ito yung Twin Beaches eh.
Yes. This was the first time that my wife and I have been to El Nido together.
Mm.
And itong beach na to, napakaganda niya. It was actually one of the top 10 beaches in 2018, I think, in the world.
Right.
Ang
Mhm.
nangyari lang, we had someone take the photo because of problema nung sa beach lang. There were a lot of yung mites. I don't know what you call them. They were staying, so we really had to. Maybe it was the season. But
Oo.
yeah, very beautiful place, excellent
Oo.
vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. Ito.
Okay, this is my brother-in-law. These are my nephews from my brother-in-law.
Okay.
That's my wife's brother. So sunod-sunod yung mga boys niya. Again, we had to like take this photo for our sponsor that time. Very talented group of kids actually.
Mm. Oo
Athletic,
nga.
academic, tsaka artistic.
Ito.
This is yeah. This is a seminar that I conducted for a retail brand, and they're the guys responsible for their Vogue Concepts. No? So they're the guys who retail Levi's and all these other luxury brands. So I was invited to talk about
So you do this.
principle based. Yeah, I do. So once in a while, I do talks related to resiliency, um, discipline, and whatnot. No, so leadership, basically self leadership. I do
Okay.
these talks for different companies as well. Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Saktong-sakto kasi my next question is what do you do now? I mean, obviously you've expanded. Sabi mo you do consulting for a government agency, you teach at a couple of universities. So how does all of this come together, you know?
Okay. I mentioned earlier that at the age of 40, I decided to leave corporate and decide to strike it on my own as an independent consultant. And the takeoff is really slow. It's not like you have a lot of funds and you put together something to do it, right? So
Right.
ang una kong isip was, what is something that I can share as a skill? And in corporate kasi, I went around different departments and divisions. I was in marketing initially. I moved to sales and strategy. Then did some work later on in purchasing and procurement for a large multinational insurance company. So when I left, being the department head, sabi ko, okay, I'm gonna focus on procurement. And that's what I did. So I started doing procurement talks. I had a procurement project with a retailer as well. Then I was contacted by a friend to see if I was interested in a procurement role in the government agency that was funded by the World Bank, and that project aims to alleviate flooding in the national capital region in the next 5 years. So yun, nakita ko, pinasok ko na yun.
Mhm.
Now, kasi yung mindset ko when I retired, I call it my retirement from corporate. When I retired, sabi ko, I have to give something back, and said maybe I should teach. And I started teaching naman. So the first through my professional organization, Philippine Institute for Supply Management, I got
Mm.
a teaching role initially in the University of Makati, and Jose Rizal University. Then it expanded to University of Makati. Then someone found me from the Technological Institute of the Philippines. And fortunately enough, nagturo na rin ako ng supply chain and procurement for the academe.
Ayun.
And that is very that to me is very interesting kasi ngayon in fact kasi I don't want to spread myself too thinly, so hindi muna ako nagturo sa JRU, and I just focus on University of Makati and TFU in the meantime. Now
Mm.
I think that the the secret, or not really the secret, but the way to do it is if you have a skill, you can do it if you're an expert in that skill. So that's something that you can offer to individuals and to corporations. At the same time, you can start teaching that skill as well. Kasi ang objective ko is for other people, especially the students, to build these competencies para magamit din nila sa work nila. And most of all, I think that procurement or transparent and purposive procurement is really a key driver for national development. Why do I say that? I don't want to go into politics, pero very simple. You have to know where your taxes go. And if people in government are saying that your taxes go here and we're purchasing services and products here so that you can benefit from them, you have to be able to really see na tama talaga yung pinagkagastusan. Ang dami-dami nating issues related to procurement. And I think if you have that kind of system in place, a transparent and purposive procurement system, then it's going to at least minimize corruption in government, right? So yun yung nakikita ko dyan.
Ayan.
But putting them together, just to go down into the specifics, kailangan talaga na you have to set a schedule in place. Very important you have that rigid schedule, and people around you, your family have to they have to understand what you're doing and what you're doing and why you're doing it, so that they can appreciate it better.
Ayun, okay. Napaka-broad ng nako-cover ni Louie, no? Pag nagkukwento, he talked about illness and exercise and being an athlete, and now he's talking about teaching and consulting and contributing to community and society. All right, very interesting. Kulang ang oras natin. Pero Louie, who would you like to thank, in this journey of yours? Who are some people you would like to thank?
I'd like to thank everyone who's part of it. No, people. I think one of the things kasi that is not really often talked about is yung motivation from failure. So whether these people have contributed in one way or another to my success or my failure, I am grateful for the opportunity na na-meet ko sila at nakasama ko sila sa buhay. And these people range from, for example, from my office mates, from teammates, from family members, coaches, mga bosses ko. Everyone has contributed something at the very least for me to get where I am. And when I speak of failure, I think most of the time there's no one to blame but yourself, right? So again, you have to have that humility to accept na nagkamali ka, and you have to seek out advice or the help of others, so that you can move on and achieve greater things. Of course, my family has been a very, very good source of inspiration for the things na nangyari sa past. I think we have to learn from them. My wife is one of the anchors in my life. Helps me always to reassess certain situations. Right now, people that I work with in government, they have given me a very good viewpoint of how things are done. So yes, there are challenges. My students, my teammates, they help me grow as well as a mentor, di ba? And I also learn from them as well. So wag nating isipin just because they're younger, they have less experience, we can't learn anything from them. So I think anybody can be a mentor as long as they're willing to share these things with you.
What's a single tip that you can give young people?
There are several tips at the point. So I'll summarize it in three things. First is you have to have ambition. So without ambition, you won't have that vision to get somewhere. Second is that you have to have a plan and execute that plan, right? So you have to translate your vision into action. I think that's very important. And the third thing is you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, it doesn't build resiliency in you. So yung resiliency na yun also builds your confidence. Failing often and rising up from that failure is one of the things that I also advocate. Don't take it to the point na hindi ka na makakabangon, of course, pero take risks. No? Just be consistent in your delivery. I think these are the three things I can share.
Very nice tips for young people. Makinig po kayo. Okay. So Louie, what are some pages or events that you would like to promote?
At this point, if they want to reach out to me, they can reach out through my email address. It's neovertusph@gmail.com. We're still building the website. So I have a sole proprietorship, Neovertus Management Consultancy. We're still building that website. Hopefully by quarter 4, it's up. There have been some changes. Very challenging environment. In fact, the office that I was renting just closed down. So we are moving offices as well. So kaya medyo may konting challenge doon. But they may reach me through that email, and I hope it's flashing there because I might people might not understand what I just said. But neovertusph@gmail.com for consulting, for procurement issues, or for supply management concerns. Or they can
Ayan.
reach me at louis.sangalang@gmail.com for any inquiries or whatnot.
Ayan. Okay, neovertusph@gmail.com and
Yeah.
louis.sangalang@gmail.com. How you can
There's
reach.
there's actually a website. It's neovertusph.com, but we're still building it. So I'll share that later on.
Yes, yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Ang fruitful ng discussion natin, dami nating na-cover within
All
one
right.
hour. Mahigit na nga, we're going over time. Ganda
Sorry
ng
about that.
discussion.
Thank you so much,
No,
Carmine,
okay.
for the opportunity here.
Thank you, Louie, for taking the time to join us today. I hope you enjoyed the interview as well.
I did. I did. I learned a lot. I always make it a point na in every interview I reassess and prepare myself for the next one.
Good.
Nakagulat, especially yung game kanina. I wasn't prepared, pero buti na lang.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Louie Sangalang. Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Have a good day.
Right. Okay. So that was, excuse me, that ayan. I hope hindi nyo nadidinig, no? Yung anak ko na, meron din siyang online na ginagawa ngayon. May school ngayon yung anak ko. I can hear him. I'm actually a little distracted. But yes, thank you very much once again, Louie Sangalang. Very good insights, very interesting stories also. I hope you were inspired by that. Okay, so we have a couple more comments from the audience. Ayan. Fail forward daw, sabi ni Daniel Hilaria. We also left the contacts, the email addresses that Louis gave in the comment section, so you can go back to that. All right. So remember our quote for the day. Imagination means nothing without doing by Charlie Chaplin. Leave your interpretation of it in the comment section. Of course, make sure that you share the live stream on your wall. Okay, so we have another show, another interview this week. Very interesting babae naman yung guest natin. And we'll talk about body image, wellness, and stuff like that. So please stay tuned. We'll be back for more interesting stories here on U-Turn on the new channel. We'll be back at 10:30 in the morning on Thursday for that. All right. So thank you very much for spending time with us. I hope you have a good lunch. My name is Carmine, and this is U-Turn.